I love it. I love men in drag, and anything kind of camp and spectacular and fabulous. Are kind of my karaoke go-to belters, really. Yeah, but see the time warp.
Hi. I was just wondering, we know that Peggy has a usual at the cafe that Angie works at because she's said that to her before. Angie has asked her, do you want your usual? So I was just wondering, what's Peggy's usual?
Oh, it's black coffee with a shot of bourbon in it.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi.
I just want to be the first to say this, but I think the Peggy Carter show is better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Agent Carter. And if you need a boyfriend, I can be Cody's Underdance Sketches on Instagram, that's my account.
Thank you.
So my question was, if there was a celebrity you could work with in Agent Carter, who would it be?
Oh, if we had a celebrity on our show?
Yes.
Oh, I know this sounds really morbid, but all my favourite actors are dead. like Gregory Peck and Paul Newman, and I'd like a lot. And also because they would be so great for the era, the 1940s, you know. So that's I love Michael Fassbender. I wouldn't kick him off set. Who else? David Oyelowo, who's like he played Selma. He's a phenomenal actor. Brilliant Shakespearean stage actor who I've known for many years, so he's great. There's a lot of British talent, some people that you might not have heard of but have careers on stage in England who I'm kind of obsessed with. And also my dear friend Ben Whishaw. A beautiful human being, so I would just, any excuse to be around him, I would just hang out and stalk him if I could. I found out where he lived. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Hi!
Hi. Okay.
That was awesome. Hi. Hello.
So, do you think Captain America is really hot?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, yeah, the only thing is, can I just say that it's really weird, like, to sit there in his trailer while he's getting his hairpiece put on and foundation. And I'd be like, how much makeup have you got on? You know, or so it's the illusion of him looking like that, which kind of freaks me out a bit. The real Chris is, I think, absolutely beautiful. I really think he's hot with his beard. I'm gonna fight for him to keep that. Yeah. So yeah, I do. I think he's really hot.
Hi, I'm a fan of Peggy Carter, but my question is about your amazing performance on Black Mirror. I guess you displayed such a range of emotions in that episode. I'm just wondering, how do you deal with displaying all that emotional spectrum? Does it follow you that day or in any other performances? Does it stick with you when you go home?
That was a particularly tough shoot because she was, you know, in such turmoil for the duration of the story, and it was about 12 days of intense filming in the countryside, and it does stay with you a little bit. I think the actual experience is very cathartic and makes me, I think, more empathetic towards the characters that I'm playing if I can emotionally engage with them and relate to them in some way. And I do think kind of there's something to be said for actors who can access those deeper, darker parts of ourselves that on the surface in everyday life we try to hide and repress because they're not accepted. Certain emotions that are kind of considered taboo to be exploring. But so I find that the very nature of the art of storytelling gives every single emotion on the human spectrum some kind of place and validation to make it know that it's normal and human and okay to feel the way that we feel and what we feel. And that's the kind of, for me, the absolute joy and privilege of being in this industry that helps me kind of figure out what being a human is and gives words and stories to otherwise nameless, confused concepts and thoughts and emotions that otherwise in my everyday life I would find hard to process. So it's a very therapeutic, very cathartic experience. And it does wash off, but it's kind of like, do you guys see the Pixar film Inside Out? So the thing I loved about that was the whole moral of that film was about the poignancy and the importance of sadness. That we're spending all our time being happy, happy, happy and chasing happiness all the time, but yet there has to be a place where sadness is allowed to be accepted, to be validated as part of the human experience, and it can actually teach us incredible lessons. And I think that's kind of the beauty about those roles like Black Mirror, that what it was able for me to do was to access those emotions that were kind of laying dormant in me.
We have time for one more question.
Hello, Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hello.
Hi, Agent Carter.
Hi.
I'd like to ask, how do you feel about Dottie Underwood, or whatever her real name is?
Oh, she's a slippery fish. We haven't seen the last of her.
Yeah. I have it here as Peggy's nemesis.
Yeah, it's great that we have, another, obviously Peggy has male baddies that she fights, but to have someone who's physically kind of her equal, she's a Black Widow, she's incredibly capable and she's very smart, and I think that shows kind of a balance for Peggy, like a flip side of the same coin. And so we'll be seeing more of her in season 2.
Okay, wait, one more. This is actually the last one.
Hi, Hayley.
Hi.
I'm so glad I got a chance to ask this question because I thought I wouldn't. I'm glad I brought more than one because some of them I've sort of already been answered. So the one I have left is, given how much the previous season emphasized Peggy struggling to prove herself and at least somewhat succeeding, now that she'll be moving to LA, will her reputation have begun to precede herself at all, or will she have to prove herself again to her new colleagues and superiors?
That's a great question. I've only read 2 of the episodes. We're filming them at the moment, and I know that she's she's got Sousa and Jarvis out there, so they know that who she is, which is good. So she's got their support. But there's many obstacles that she'll have to face. Of course, there'll be a new nemesis. There'll be new challenges for her. They'll be diving into her past a little bit and it will explain certain torments that she has. But I think there will, Peggy, by the very nature of the world in which it's set, means that she'll be constantly up against obstacles in which she has to break down barriers and break down walls, which is kind of the very nature of her character and what makes her so relatable. And I don't think that even in today's day and age, women are free from obstacles at all when it comes to having to prove themselves, particularly in the workplace. So because of that, I think it's all relevant that we put that in there in the series. Yeah.
Awesome questions. And is there anything else you want to say left to the room here?
Thank you all. I love you.